Welcome, Moon Magic family. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome back to the channel. In today's readings, we are asking Spirit for immediate guidance for you. We do these readings, I do these readings every single Sunday. We ask for guidance in your world right now. What does Spirit need you to know? And also, what advice and guidance can be brought to you for the coming week? Is there anything you need to heads up about? Anything that needs to be brought into your awareness to assist you during the coming week? We're going to draw 3 cards. I'm seeing reading 1 already. And we'll be drawing runes and charms as well to help to guide you in. That's reading 2, and I'm seeing this card as reading 3. Okay, so reading number 1, you have the thread. Reading number 2, you have agape. And reading number 3, you have aletheia. Let's draw some charms and runes as well. So your charms, reading 1, you have the cat. Reading 2, you have the hand with the hole in it. This little charm also has spirals all over it. I don't know if you can see those. I hope so. And reading 3. We have the turtle. Okay, and our runes. Okay, so reading 1, you have the rune of ice. Reading 2, you have the rune of breakthrough. And reading 3, you have the rune of constraint, Nathis. Okay, now I'm going to leave the camera running for a few moments longer for any of you who need a little bit more time, and the timestamps will, as always, be in the information box below. If you find you're drawn to more than one reading, then it may be because these are weekly readings and we've always got lots of different areas of our lives sort of simultaneously running, of course. It may be that there is a message, if you're drawn to more than one, in more than one area of your world. So one reading may apply to one aspect and another to another, or even to a friend, family or loved one that you're having a strong connection with at the moment. So trust your intuition. If one is leaping out at you, I'm sure then that is the reading for you. But if there is more than one, or even all 3, then trust your intuition and go with that and listen in to see what guidance may be coming through for various areas of your world. I'll leave the video running now and give you a bit more time to just sit and be still. Tons of love to you, and I will see you in the readings. Reading number 1, welcome. You have the card of the thread, the rune of ice, and this lovely cat. I actually feel already in your reading number 1, that something that has been stuck, something that's felt frozen, is about to shift, like someone throwing you a lifeline, something coming in, a connection enabling you to kind of almost find another life. I feel the cat 9 lives keeps coming through for me. Let's draw a spirit animal guide for you first of all to see what is happening. We're asking for advice, guidance, information. What do reading number 1 need to know right here and right now and in the coming week? Snake spirit, time to heal. Okay, so we are seeing some form of transformation. I have a very distinct feeling that something is shifting for you. Literally, something that has felt blocked, stuck, as if it couldn't move forwards, with you not really knowing what to do, some sense of confusion around you. The courage of your love. Look, the spotlight is coming here on something. Something shifting, something moving forwards. Somebody shining a light. We have cave, retreat. And look at the labyrinth in this card. Can you see there is a kind of labyrinth at the front of this cave? I feel you're going to find your way out of a situation that has been troubling you. Something that was stuck. And again, this looks like a cave. It looks like a cavern. Like you're in here and someone sends something down to you, and you can be pulled out now. Pulled out of the quagmire, is that the right word? Time to heal, time to see a way through something. Hold on to me. Okay, and I think it's going to happen quite fast. Excuse my chuckling. It feels rather joyous. I do actually feel that something is about to be lifted, a lifeline thrown to you, an opportunity for another life, another try, another go at something, another venture, finding your way out of a labyrinth, light coming through. We're seeing so much in terms of a shift from darkness into light, or clarity if you've been confused or feeling a sense of fog around you, not quite knowing how to move something forwards. We're seeing that shift. What we are seeing as well is we're seeing it shift quickly. So this is really interesting. May we please have more information for reading number 1. I almost feel, you know, when you're sitting and waiting for something to happen, you're waiting and you're waiting and you're wondering, will it, won't it, how is this going to move forwards? And you're really, really fed up with waiting. Suddenly something happens and then it's all go, 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 and your feet don't touch the ground, and you almost, I won't say you long to be stuck again, because I'm not suggesting that would be the case, because I feel like something that has needed to shift is about to. It's going to transform. Something's coming into you. Something's being highlighted that allows something to shift and move forwards. But yeah, I think it will happen quite quickly. A bit of a whirlwind. Almost like a bit of a whirlwind, a bit of a roller coaster ride. What are we shown in the cards here? May we see more, please, for reading number 1? What information can we be shown for reading number 1? Okay, so we have the 10 of Cups. How interesting. We have the 9 of Cups. Well, how interesting. We have the 5 of Swords, and we have, look at this, 10, 9, and then 2 5s. I find this absolutely fascinating. Something that has been causing you a conflict, if you've been waiting for something that's been causing you a conflict. Now, for some of you, this conflict could have been connected to some aspect of relationship or even an organization. It's been bothering you. It could be a financial situation that's been bothering you. This is a generic reading, and therefore the specifics are also being shown in quite a general way. I'm seeing, for some of you, a situation that maybe involves kind of a family situation, family life, home life, potential partnerships, relationships. But I'm also, for some people, seeing health and money situations, home, moving home, this kind of stuff. Work. It could be a working arrangement. Maybe you haven't been waiting to know what's going to happen at work. Perhaps you've been up in the air regarding a promotion or something. But something that has been bothering you is coming to a completion. Like someone throws you a lifeline, something comes in to your world that breaks the ice, unfreezes the ice, breaks the ice, and it causes you to be able to have a new lease of life. And I want to say you are going to come out of this scenario feeling very, very good. I suspect you do something gets settled, basically. You walk away from something with clarity. You come out of the fog. May we have more information, please, for reading number 1. May we have more information about how this is emerging. Oh, wow. Okay, so we have 4 of Wands. And then we have 3 of Swords. Yeah, something that's basically been giving you an awful lot of grief. Now, it is generic, this reading. What I will say to you, reading number 1, something that has been personally giving you a huge amount of grief, a lot of uncertainty, fears, not knowing how to respond, not knowing what you can do, feeling stuck, feeling disabled by circumstances or by someone. It's about to shift and it's about to change. You are going to be flying high. Now, something is coming in this week that will bring you out of that space of stuckness, retreat, don't quite know what to do or how to move forwards, to everything moving forwards. And it moves forwards with you very much in the spotlight, taking an ownership of your part to play in how you've navigated this. We're seeing the end of a conflict. You know, the 3 of Swords is coming out of a space of conflict. For sure, there's a sense of recognizing that the impact of how this has been, but we're coming out the other side. 4 of Wands, we're celebrating. If relationship of any sort is connecting in for you, reading number 1, whether it is love, whether it's a family member, whether it's a colleague, a working connection, you are going to come out of this seriously on top of your game. It's really looking good. I do feel that your courage, your input, your courage, I want to say your resilience. And I also want to say that I think some of you probably don't feel very resilient. I suspect some of you have felt pretty worn down by a situation that has seriously been giving you grief. But I think the way that you have handled it is going to be validated this week. And I do think something will be coming in that sort of removes the pressure. It gets you out of that space of retreat. You can start to, almost like you can start to live again. It's like something's been on hold in your life. And because it's a general reading, because I'm seeing aspects, different aspects of life, whether this could be connections to either an intimate partnership, a family situation, there's all sorts of different indications about different aspects of life here. The key here, though, beautiful reading number 1, people, is that what we're seeing this week is a move forwards. We're seeing a lifeline being sent to you, a communication, someone bringing something in that allows a healing to begin. And it moves forwards very, very quickly. I feel like your feet won't touch the ground. It's like an offer of something, or someone reaching out, or a piece of information. But what's going to be seen here in a really beautiful and very amazing way is the role that you have played in kind of basically keeping it together under duress, because that's what it feels like. The stuckness has felt as though you've had to really keep it together, and it's taken its toll. This is shifting this week, so whatever that situation is for you, we are seeing that shift, and I am really thrilled for you. I'm going to draw some more runes actually before we move towards the end of your reading. It's actually very clear though, your reading for you this week, reading number 1. Lots of runes are coming out, as you can see. For starters, we have the rune of breakthrough. This is like It's the light bulb moment. It's the moment something happens. It's the window of opportunity. It's that 180-degree turn because we now are free to move forwards. So it's the shift. We then have the rune of possessions. This is nourishment. This is unexpected rewards, gains, surprises. So we're definitely having a confirmation that something is coming in that will break the ice, that will shift something and move it forwards. We then have the rune of Hagalaz. This is disruption. So what I want to say is, your feet aren't going to touch the ground. Whatever the news and however it arrives, I think you're going to be very busy. It will feel like it throws your world upside down. But then, you know, if you think about, you know, the ice melting, whatever this is, whether it is work, love, family, home, whatever the situation that has felt as if it was either stagnant, stuck, would never happen. How can I ever get this to work? Why have I not manifested this yet? Why isn't it moving forwards? We're seeing the shift. And it is interesting that today, as I'm doing these readings today, on this particular Sunday, we've just had a phenomenally powerful super new moon. So we've got the beginning of a new cycle. Mars is now moving forwards. Mars was in retrograde. Mercury is now moving forwards, so station direct, was in retrograde. Uranus, which is what Hagalaz is, the same energy, the energy of disruption, but the great awakener, shaking things up, moving things forwards, creating change. Uranus is now moving forwards, stations direct today. So what we also have here is the rune of gateway and the rune of fertility and the rune of movement. So we're seeing the offer come in, the offer, the reaching out, the someone arriving in your world, the someone, the something. It's a generic reading. This will apply to something that is something that for you has felt stuck, as if you thought you'd never be able to manifest it. You wondered if it would ever happen. You haven't known what to do. And now it arrives. You can come out of your cave. It's now time to no longer be in retreat. Your feet aren't going to touch the ground. The courage and the courage of your conviction is coming through here. That will come through. It will arrive in possibly an unexpected way, but it will kind of throw your world into upheaval for a short while, I think. Take your time, even though I don't think your feet are going to touch the ground, do take your time to process this experience, this offer, this situation. Do make sure you do spend some time getting still. Don't just be in such a whirlwind of stuff that you don't then almost savor and enjoy the moment and process what's actually happening, because that's important. Fertility, this is a fruit-bearing rune. The rune of fertility tells us that you need to fertilize the ground for your own deliverance. So there will be things you need to observe, notice and attend to. It's a bit like if someone offers you a contract, you actually need to read the contract before you sign it, then sign it and on you go. I'm not seeing anything negative. I'm not seeing anything negative that's coming in that you would need to be alarmed about. Far from it, but there are things that will require your attention. What we are seeing is the promise of fertility, the breakthrough moment you've been waiting for. So there's a lot of promise in this situation, circumstance. And then we're seeing the movement forwards. It's going to gather momentum, I think, quite quickly. So whatever area of your life this is pertaining to, reading number 1, and as you are connecting with this, you may already still be in that place of stuckness. Your message from Spirit this week is that the lifeline, the offer, the love of your life, the job of your life, the move of your dreams, whatever it may be, whatever it is that you need right now will be arriving. It will give you a new lease of life. Your feet won't touch the ground. Have the courage of your convictions, or let's say the courage of your convictions will be honoured in real terms by the arrival of something that can bring the stuckness to an end. Reading number 1, that is your reading this week. Super Souls, I post these readings every single Sunday for weekly guidance. I post other readings during the week as well, pick a card readings, usually on a Tuesday and a Friday, sometimes more often. And I also do post all zodiac sign readings. My zodiac sign readings, rather than working on a calendar month, I work on a moon month. So I work from new moon to new moon, and every new moon I do a new series of zodiac sign readings, and they are on my Patreon site with my Patreon family. I also post a tutorial about learning to read the cards and the runes every month on Patreon too. It's a very different site, and it's a site that works on donations. There are no advertisements, so do check out those readings or the Patreon site if you're interested in any of that. I do here on YouTube give away a free private reading every month, and also a pack of oracle cards. That is a subscriber offer here on YouTube. So again, if you're interested in that, I post an announcement of the winners. I've just posted an announcement of the winners yesterday for this month. So I post that announcement in a video. I make the announcement of the winners, and I have an email list, a subscriber email list. Once you're on it, you're in the monthly prize draw, forever ongoing, and my colleague draws a name out of the hat, or draws names. So have a check out. If you're on that subscriber email list, do check out that video to see if you have won. And if you'd like to be on it, do just add yourself to the email list. I will put all the links to anything and everything that I do in the information box, the description box, and also in the comments for phone users. Reading number 1, this looks to be a monumentally brilliant week for you in terms of something at long last opening up for you that has really been giving you some grief. Tons and tons of love to you. I'm just so thrilled for you, because it feels like this is long overdue. Hey, reading number 2, welcome. You have the agape card. You have this hand with a hole in it and the spirals. There's a lot of creative energy around you. Also the rune of wholeness. This is like the path you must follow. I sort of feel like there's almost some aspect of, to be honest with you, reading number 2, it feels like some sort of spiritual awakening happening this week, or spiritual recentering. I'm seeing a realignment here. Okay, what's your contribution? Seeing this hand offering something. Let's draw a spirit animal guide for you first. May we have information for reading number 2, please? There. Okay, now we've got 2 cards. We'll take them both. Okay, so we have dolphin, spirit, this and that are true, and ant spirit, time to collaborate. Okay. Okay, let's place those there. Dolphin, spirit, this and that are true. This is about perspective. Yes, and of course, agape, changing your perspective on something, seeing something differently, time to collaborate. Okay. We have the angel Rasbar. We have bells, deflection. Reading number 2, this is a very interesting reading indeed. Okay. Then we have grandmother dragonfly holds the wisdom. Dragonflies are about transcending illusion. I feel like you're going to get some kind of a shift in perspective this week. Something's going to happen that will change your perspective. And in changing your perspective, you'll find clarity of direction. Let's draw some tarot cards as well. May we have information for reading number 2, please? Wow, 4 cards coming straight out. Let's have a look at those. Ace of Cups, Queen of Wands, the Moon, and the 9 of Wands. Okay. Okay. I think think this week, reading number 2, something is going to happen for you to change your perspective, to change your viewpoint, or to see. You're going to see what steps you need to take, one step at a time. You're going to be shown the way here. Reading number 2. I feel I'm going to draw some additional clarifying cards for you. But I really do feel that something happens this week that alters the way that you see something. And as a consequence, you approach something completely differently. You approach it from a new angle. You approach it from a different perspective. Maybe you see it from a spiritual perspective. Literally something that you have been trying to navigate. You've been working your way through something. You know, it may even be that you've been trying to navigate something, you've been working your way through it on your own, and then suddenly the support you need comes in, and because of other people's viewpoints, perspectives, assistance, it changes the way you approach something. But there's something here that shifts for you this week. Very clearly, it's a big shift because it alters your anchor point, it alters your perspective, it changes your viewpoint, and because it changes your viewpoint mentally, it changes your perspective emotionally, spiritually as well. I think it's going to bring you empowerment, though it may come as a bit of a surprise. I did say at the beginning I felt that this had a spiritual sense to it. This almost feels like, you know, those random experiences that really aren't random at all. They are synchronistic, like the universe showing you something. Sign after sign happens. Something happens and you think, you know, you couldn't have written that. It's like, wow, that's like an unveiling of a truth. Something happening that means you can't see the world in the same way anymore, and in the best possible way. That point of enlightenment, that point of being shown something and knowing that you can't go back to the way it was because you now have a different level of awareness. There's something coming in here. I'm going to draw more cards, I think. First of all, we'll draw runes. But reading number 2, I'm very curious about what this might be. It feels as if it alters your pathway in some way, enables you to navigate something. That's what I'm seeing. Navigating something from a different perspective, being able to deflect potentially something that could have not worked, and doing it in a way that means that it will work. I'm seeing a lot of insightful empowerment taking place here. Grandmother Dragonfly holds the wisdom, transcending something. The angel Rasbar, being given the gift of sight, knowing that you are supported. Agape being centered in, it was sort of operating from a God space, a spirit space, a source space, rather than a human space. I feel like you're rising above a set of challenges. You know, something has to be traversed and navigated. You will receive help, that's for sure. You're definitely going to receive help. You'll be supported. Let's draw runes. I'm needing more information for you, reading number 2. Okay, so our first rune, we have the rune of protection. We then have the rune of joy and the rune of openings. Right, okay. Now, very interesting. The rune of protection is about taking right action. It's about integrity. It also means you're protected. The rune of joy is like a new dawn carried across the gap by the wings of heaven. And the rune of opening, when you get these two together, it's very significant because the rune of opening is clear direction. I just feel as if this feels for me, and I'm very thoughtful of using this language, but I will because it's what I feel very strongly in your reading number 2. I feel this week you are, I'm just going to say, divinely protected and divinely guided. Now, I know that we could say we're divinely protected and divinely guided all of the time. Of course we are. But there's something here about being even more so, doubly protected, quadruply protected, looked after, nurtured, held, guided, supported. I need more information. I really, really do. May we please have more information for reading number 2? What does this pertain to, please? What does this situation pertain to? Okay, Ace of Wands. We have the Hermit. And the Hierophant. Okay. Okay, we then have the 3 of Pentacles and the 4 of Cups. Very interesting indeed. Okay. How interesting. I think something is coming into your world. Now, it may be around you already. Reading number 2. It may be around you already. Because, you know, I'm seeing the Ace of Wands looking. There's something brand new coming into your world. Lighting the way for you. And it's bringing you out of yourself. It's bringing you out of a place where you've been working on your own. Time to collaborate. It could be that someone comes in with an offer of help. And you're somebody who normally is so self-reliant that you don't accept help. It could be some aspect of the potential for new love. And normally, and you've been very wary. But something is around you. The energy of something is around you, which is shifting your perspective, which means you are able to allow yourself to receive help. Something that you previously wouldn't have accepted, you're now welcoming. Something that you might previously have closed the door to, you're now prepared to open the door to it. For whatever reason. Yes, something that you might have perceived as not viable, you now recognize it could be. You could work at this, you could see it differently. I'm trying to think of a good analogy here, but you know, it's a general reading. And so, you see, there are 2 messages here, reading number 2. The protection is really important because I think you're realizing that you're protected. And I think it's changing your ability to navigate things. So, what's the right, let me try and think of the right kind of example to give you. I'll use one of love because most people will inevitably at some point in their lives end up being hurt within a relationship. I mean, that's sort of the nature of being human and our own soul's evolution. It's kind of how we end up in the right. Very few people meet the love of their life in childhood and remain with that person forever. Most people will have more than one relationship before they arrive at the place where they make a commitment with real strength and longevity with one particular person. You know, however the structure of that relationship is. I feel that there is the energy of something new around you that. Firstly, I think you really want it. So I'll use the analogy of a relationship, but it could be something quite different. It's something you really want. But I think you've tried to either to go it alone in achieving it, or you've learned to be sort of self-sustainable in some way, shape or form. You know, you've basically learned to be self-reliant, self-sustainable, whether it's working or in intimacy, and somehow it's like your perspective on something shifts, and you are starting to quite genuinely allow yourself now to receive. And because you can do so, it changes your perspective on things. So maybe in the analogy of love, you might have been really, because you'd had such a difficult experience, you might have got very, very rigid in what you're now looking for in a partner. And this is the point when you begin to ease that list a bit and begin to extend it, so that you, although you've got your discernment and your boundaries, you're also not so rigid in how you intend to apply them that you could close the door. You could, you know, if you've got a tick box and one tiny thing isn't ticked, and in fact that's probably not a really memorable or important thing. You know, I'm probably not being terribly clear here reading number 2, but what the reading is saying here is this week your perspective changes on something, and that allows you to let something in that you wouldn't previously have been allowing yourself to receive, whether that is help, whether it's love, whether it's resources. I am seeing collaboration. Something, you allow yourself to have something, and because you allow yourself to have something, you can become less defended, and somehow stuff starts to transcend, stuff starts to emerge and evolve, and you can navigate whatever it is you're navigating from a very, very different perspective. Reading number 2, I apologize if I feel like I'm not necessarily being as clear in your message as I want to be. You know, we're seeing a really fruitful outcome. We're seeing the rune of openings. We're seeing clear direction. I think the bit that I'm struggling to voice eloquently is to do with how this shift of perspective changes. But I do feel there's possibly the lowering of some defenses. It's kind of almost like you may have had a defense mechanism in place, that you put it in place a long time ago because you needed to, because that's how life was, and you needed to learn to protect yourself. This is perhaps a better way of saying it. And what sort of happens, and I can voice this as a psychotherapist of 28 years, the very things that we put in place to protect ourselves then become the very things, the same things that actually stop us from emerging or being able to receive what we really want. It's like we become defended to protect ourselves, and we needed to. But if we keep that defense and that protection in place, it then blocks us from being able to have the very thing that we really do desire. And what I'm seeing in your reading is that this week, that shifts. You lower that defense, you change that perspective. Something alters that means that you can now collaborate and work through something from a completely different perspective, and you can allow yourself to receive something in a manner that means you now navigate differently. You're no longer defending, but you are navigating with clarity, and you can receive the help and support that you might previously have once deflected. I hope that that's more eloquent. I kind of know where I'm going with this. I think because defenses, super souls, are so complex, we all have them. It's part of being human. If we had no defenses at all, we would be so vulnerable, we would watch the news and fall apart. You know, we need a degree of defense in order to, it's protection, basically. Defenses are a form of protection. What we do need to make sure is that our defenses are not so rigid that they become a kind of a prison, or they become a limitation for us. So the protection ceases to be valuable and it becomes a hindrance in itself. And that's what I'm seeing shift. I'm seeing you master something, doing something differently here, operating from a place of illumination and awareness, being in charge of your actions, not having to defend yourself, and you can allow yourself to receive, but you can kind of choose what you receive and how you receive it. There's a massive shift in some aspect of your own personal, you could say, defense system, management system, but something is changing that enables you to walk with a greater strength. And I do think, whether this is purely spiritually or literally in the form of a mentor, someone coming in to offer you that guidance and that support, what we are seeing is collaboration and support coming to you, both spiritually and also possibly within the guise of a real human being who is supporting you to be able to lower those defenses. You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. We don't, drop everything and put ourselves in a vulnerable position. But we're no longer guarded to the point where we disable ourselves. That's the kind of flavour here. And I'm seeing the shift. I do think someone is potentially coming in like a mentor. It will either be a synchronicity, a circumstance, a series of signs where the universe just delivers. And you kind of think, I cannot deny that I am being guided and looked after. This is undeniable. There it is. I can't pretend otherwise. This is glaringly obvious. Or it will come in the shape or form of a someone, or as I said, or I do think somebody or circumstances, but something is shown to you in a way that enables you to feel completely trusting of being able to navigate from that different perspective. I hope this is making sense to you, reading number 2, and I haven't waffled too much. I kind of know where I'm going with it, and I do think it's because our defences are so complex. It's quite hard to be eloquent and to clearly state what I'm trying to say, but the pathway will become incredibly clear to you. I mean, the rune of wholeness, it's the path you must follow, and to have these two together is mind-blowingly amazing. So I just feel that whatever you are, or however you are manifesting, something changes this week for you in an incredibly energizing and empowered way. Yeah, a very big shift from, one could say, from a spiritual or a psychological place. Either way, the results are liberating, really, is probably the best way of saying it, reading number 2. Super Souls, thank you so much for joining me. This is your reading. If this is resonating, and I do hope I've been clear enough for you, do join me for further readings. I post these every single week, the guidance from Spirit for right here, right now, in the coming week. I do readings for all zodiac signs. My zodiac sign readings don't run for the calendar month, they run for the moon month. So they start at the new moon and they run through, and then I do another set of readings starting with the next new moon. These readings are on Patreon. In my Patreon community, I post those readings, and I also post a monthly tutorial all about learning to read the runes and the cards. So if you're interested in that, it's a very different platform. It works on donations, but there are no advertisements in the readings. So do join us if you would like to become part of our Patreon family. It's a super lovely little community that we're building. I do here on YouTube have a monthly prize draw. I give away a free private reading and also a pack of Oracle cards. That is a subscriber offer, and I have a subscriber email list. I'll put all these links in the information box below and the comments for phone users if you want to tap into any of these things or any of the other resources that I put into the world. And I have just posted, if you are on my subscriber email list, I've just posted the winners for this month. I posted the video yesterday, so do make sure you check that out, because I announce the winners in that video every single month. Super Souls, reading number 2. Tons and tons of love to you. This feels sort of, gosh, it's got almost like a karmic kind of destiny type feel to it, but it feels like a massive moment of emergence. It's that sort of spiritual levying up in some way of your awareness and energy. So life is navigated differently, and of course the joyous thing is you start to get to receive things in ways that maybe you might previously have not been able to, just through the need to defend and protect yourself. So this is fabulous. It really is absolutely gorgeous. Tons and tons of love, reading number 2. Welcome, reading number 3. You have the Rune of Constraint, Aletheia, and the Turtle, which is all about creation, finding dry land. Aletheia is also about seeing the truth. So what is going on for reading number 3? This is a really interesting read already. I'm not going to say any more. Let's draw cards and see what we are shown for reading number 3. May we have a spirit animal guide first of all, please, for reading number 3. There is your card. Bobcat spirit, life is a mystery. Okay. What else do we have here? We have the human gift. We have altar, honouring. We have pray to the east, guardian watches over the west. This is very, very interesting, reading number 3. Okay, I'm going to draw some tarot cards before I say any more. May we have information and guidance for reading number 3 right here and right now and for the next 7 days, please. What is happening for reading number 3? Okay, let's see what we have for the moment. So we have the 5 of Cups. Okay. Oh, we have the Lovers. We have the Emperor. We have the 3 of Wands, in fact. We have the 8 of Pentacles. And we have the 3 of Swords. Okay. This is a week, beautiful souls, when I sort of feel like there is a need to embrace the acceptance of something that you don't really understand. Something that's been going on that has, you know, when you just think, how did that happen? Or why is that person behaving like that? Or, you know, why did anyone allow that to take place? And your reading is really suggesting that you have a choice. You can look at you can spend forever trying to find the truth. Aletheia is about seeing the truth. And, you know, sometimes we look at the truth and we look at the reality of how maybe somebody has behaved. And you can be really, truly gobsmacked and think, how could anybody do that? How could anybody say that? Why would anyone behave in that way? It's sort of mind-blowing. But actually, we're not in charge of anybody else's actions. And I feel for you, reading number 3, this is a week of almost like accepting the human condition. Recognizing that just because I think you are an older soul. I think you have a connection and a vision of things that probably hold, you know, that a higher perspective on things. And what happens, I think, is that you can feel so disappointed when you come across people and you think, you know, how could you not see that? How could you act in that way? How could you do that with no awareness of the bigger picture of the consequences? But the reality is, you see, that I do think people do behave in all kinds of ways without any connection to the reality of the consequences. And I just feel it's been kind of troubling you, getting in the way. And this is a week when I feel that you can begin to actively make a choice to consciously put down the behaviours of others. I think the behaviours of others have affected you deeply, like big disappointments. But they've kind of also stopped you in your tracks. They've become a hindrance to your own progression in life, because It's like you've been so bewildered, bemused by, you know, why would you not just have that conversation and sort it out? Why would you behave in that way? And these kinds of things, these kinds of situations, these kinds of people particularly, can really eat away, because it isn't always possible to find a resolution with people who behave badly. And what I feel is that you've experienced people's behaviour. It's had an impact on you that has been limiting. Even for some of you, generated limiting beliefs within you, self-doubt, all kinds of things due to the not so good behaviour of others. Let's just keep it at that. And I feel this is a week when somehow you make a choice to come to terms from within yourself, to come to terms with the human condition, which is that you can't control the actions of others, and you can't, what's that saying? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can't make someone elevate in consciousness. You can't bring enlightenment. It's not your job to bring enlightenment to anyone beyond working through things for yourself. But you can elevate your own vibration, and you can choose to not buy into that stuff anymore. You can decide to create an end to that perpetual disappointment. I sort of feel like there's been something that maybe you've been going over and over it. And of course, it's not really black and white. I think you can see the truth of it, but it may be that the other party doesn't see the truth of it. They're still tangled in their autopilot behaviours. Now, this is a week for you to honour yourself and honour your choice to no longer be bound by the deeds of others, particularly in your past. Now, I know that that is easier said than done. You know, I was a psychotherapist, a full-time psychotherapist for over 28 years. I do still do that kind of work a little, but only with a small handful of people who I've worked with for a long time. I'm not taking on any new people, and my work and my calling is now to bring that knowledge into the arena of working with tarot cards and oracle cards and learning to use other ways and spiritual connections to navigate life. And you know, it's sort of, I see myself as a bridge, let's say, between those modalities. Now, what I'm seeing for you, super souls, is this point in time of personal choice, an acceptance that you cannot explain why some people would do what they do, but also a personal choice to no longer dwell in the disappointment, because it's holding you back, it's restricting and restraining you, and it's not your job to fix others. I mean, even if you're a counsellor, it's never been my job to fix anyone else. You know, we have a counselling joke, you know, how many counsellors does it take to change a light bulb? Only one, but the light bulb has to want to change. You know, it sort of says it all, really. And actually, you know, our work is never to change someone, it's to assist them in finding their own route to change themselves, regardless of what has happened to them. You know, part of working through pieces of work with people from a counselling perspective is when someone is navigating the results of somebody else's difficult, challenging, bullying, abusive, difficult behaviour, is also to help them to free themselves from being still entangled in it. We can't change what happened. It doesn't make what happened right. We can know the truth of it. But we can also learn to give ourselves permission not to go over and over it, to look ahead rather than back, to choose to, you know, I love this card. Look at the red light. You know, she's looking to the east, trusting that spirit will take care of whatever has happened. You know, the karmic pathway of somebody else can be dealt with by spirit. It's not for you to deliver any retribution. It's time for you to let go of the disappointment and embrace your own future. Let go of the conflict, bring it to an end. Accept the human condition. We may not like it, but we can't always do anything about it. But we can honour we can honour you. We can honour the fact that you have actually come through and out the other side of something. And you can make choices that are right for you. You can choose to embrace life. You can be the guardian of your own life, not of anyone else's. You can choose to look ahead rather than looking back. You can choose, you may have to work at this, I will say this, you know, the Eight of Pentacles is a card that really validates and acknowledges that we do have to work at things. It's almost like where we become an apprentice all over again. And I do think if you've had challenging situations in your world, we do actually have to work quite hard at not going down that road of continually thinking about them. But we can develop systems within us, tools within us, where if something pops up and pops into mind, we can actually choose to sort of remind ourselves to have an affirmation that says, actually, I choose to put this down and I choose to move beyond it. What happened wasn't right, but actually, I have no intention of investing any further energy in this. You know, we can work out some system of reminder to ourselves that we are now operating in a way that we are looking forwards rather than dwelling in the emotionality of looking back. I mean, this is where affirmations can be very, very good. I'm a great believer, again, I'm kind of delving into therapy stuff today in your reading number 3, but it seems appropriate. Affirmations need to pack a punch if they're going to work. An affirmation is like a statement of intent. It's a statement of belief that kind of re-anchors us in a particular perspective. And it's no good, for example, if you've been treated badly, creating an affirmation that says, you know, everyone in the world is lovely. Because actually not everyone in the world is lovely. It's not real. So it's no good creating what I would call an airy-fairy kind of affirmation, because a part of you, even if you make that statement and you walk around with it, oh, the world is full of love and everything is beautiful, you know, in one way, yes, it is. But actually there are challenges in life that don't always feel that way. So an affirmation that says everyone is lovely, doesn't matter how many times you say it to yourself, deep inside yourself, a part of you is going to be, really, you know, I don't believe that. So it's not going to anchor you. An affirmation that says, even though not everyone in the world is lovely, an awful lot of people are, and I commit fully to learning and developing my skills of discernment, so I can walk through life making clear choices for myself about who I spend time with and who I don't. Okay, that's quite a long affirmation, but you hopefully get my drift. It's a statement of realness and it's empowering. Even though this is the way it is, I commit to learning to do this. It carries so much empowerment and so much weight, and it totally diverts from any aspect of disappointment. So having something that you have at your fingertips that allows you to just reconnect to your own strength, to your own sense of purpose, to honour. It's like having an internal altar. An altar is a place of ceremony. You know, sometimes if we get up and we write our list of gratitudes, it anchors us in the zone of gratitude. And some of the gratitudes could be, you know, actually, I thank you for the learning. I thank you for the, you know, the right to become discerning. I thank you, you know, I'm grateful for my ability to now say no, to say yes and no from a position of empowerment. Whatever that is, we're moving into the territory of having clarity and remaining in a place where we are looking wholly forwards with an acceptance that there are some things and some stuff that we simply cannot explain. I'm going to do a little bit of energy shifting in your reading now. I do this from time to time when it feels appropriate. A little bit of energy shifting and kind of healing, actually. I did do on my Patreon site a tutorial. I upload a tutorial every month on Patreon to do with learning to read the cards and the runes, and this month's was about using crystals and performing healing within a reading. So I'm now going to do exactly that for you, reading number 3 rather. My apologies. So what I'd like you to do is just sit with the cards as they are, okay, and listen to where that any tension in your body, listen to where it's sitting, because it's our body that carries the emotional impact of challenges and trauma and difficulty. So sit with how it's feeling. And what I'm actually going to do is bring in some crystals, and we're going to do a little bit of shifting around of the cards, and then we're going to draw more runes. So first and foremost, I'm going to move this over, the constraint, okay? Because this has been going on. We're going to have an acceptance, because we sort of somehow just have to accept that there are things that seem inexplicable. We also need to accept that Spirit can take care of things, and that we have a right to just put this down and move beyond. Now I'm going to bring in some crystals. The ones that I want to bring in I'm going to bring in some tiger eye. This is raw tiger eye. Tiger eye is a stone of protection. It's also a stone that brings kind of like a shift in luck, a shift in fortune. And I feel there's something about kind of honouring where you are, whilst also validating your entitlement to move the energy and move forward. So that's the first crystal I'm bringing in. Okay. The next crystal I'm bringing in is actually an angel. Now this is a cherry quartz angel. Cherry quartz is a stone where we kind of unstuck something. Okay, so I'm going to bring that one in. So we basically release something. I'm then going to bring in another piece of tiger eye. This is bringing, again, that sense of good luck. And I'm also going to bring in a piece of red calcite, which I happen to have here. Red calcite is a stone of kind of empowerment. Again, it's like a change of fortune. It's all of these stones bring protection. But this is kind of like revitalization, energy to move forwards. Okay. And finally, last but not least, I'm going to bring in a piece of raw carnelian. Carnelian gives perseverance. So I'm going to create like a little wall. This feels very solid here, the energy. And it means that the cards here we can honour. We've got the altar. We can honour where you've come from. We can look ahead to the east. Disappointment actually is to go to the past. This belongs over here. We're looking to the east. That feels, you know, moving the disappointment. I don't know about you guys, but just shifting that card to the other side of this boundary feels really good. I'm going to do even more with that in a moment. Let me line up these cards here, because we're seeing the end of a period of conflict here. You making a personal choice to look ahead and to no longer be held back. We just accept today, here and now, Spirit, that there are some things that are just inexplicable. I mean, how and why people could ever believe that behaving like that is okay is beyond us. But we accept that that's how it is. And disappointment is now going to be, actually, I'm going to turn it over. A thing of the past. It really doesn't belong in your world anymore. Reading number 3. And we are now going to draw some runes. We are now looking ahead. Super nice. Right, we have the rune of joy. This is a fruit-bearing rune. It's a new dawn. We have the rune of I was about to say the rune of boundaries, the rune of defence, but it's about boundaries, right? From henceforth, you have the right and entitlement to establish clear boundaries, to walk your own pathway, to follow your own direction. This is the rune of openings, new beginnings, and wholeness. To complete, to know there is a completion. You don't have to carry the stuff of others. This is the path you must follow to your own wholeness, your own healing. We have the rune of harvest. It is time for you to bring in the harvest for yourself, for you, for the world you wish to build for yourself. We have the rune of breakthrough. You've reached that turning point. What an affirmation. And lastly, but not leastly, we have the rune of protection. It's the rune of integrity. You are protected, you are loved. It is time to move forwards. Now this reading for me now feels like I have 2 readings, and this is the reading that we are wanting to tune into, because this is your reading of the future. This is your reading from henceforth. This is the events of your week. This is the turning point this week. What I feel, reading number 3, is that this week is a moment. It may be this reading itself that helps you to shift the energy, but this is the week when you begin to understand and fully lay to rest and put down and commit to your pathway forwards. A life that no longer tangles you in the stuff of the past, okay? There is a boundary here. And yes, it's a new skill. You may have to learn it. These thoughts may pop up, but every time they pop up, you connect back in and continue forwards. You make a choice. You honour your pathway and you say, do you know what? I'm not investing energy in that anymore. My energy should be invested fully in where I'm going, not in the stuff of the past that I cannot change and that quite frankly is a mystery to me. It's the human condition, and you are now making a personal conscious choice to take charge of your world and move it forwards, and to your learning and your progress along the way. This feels like a soul growth kind of reading of significant empowerment, reading number 3. It really does. So a terrific turning point, which is interesting because we've got lots of interesting planetary stuff going on astrologically. Retrograde planets are now moving forwards. Uranus, the Great Awakener, stations direct today. So we're seeing the energy shift forwards now. We're seeing things gather momentum, turning points, things that need to change that we've been trying to work on, being given the energy and the impetus to change, to shift, to move forwards. Super Souls, you may find, I've just done a moon update reading which runs from the new moon, giving all sorts of details of the phases of the moon and the influence of the moon throughout the coming moon month. You might find it interesting because there's some significant dates where there are windows of opportunity, where I think it's like there are synchronicities, openings, windows of possibility, and it's always worth being aware of those in terms of being extra alert on those days for the signs and the signals that the universe brings to help us to gather this forward motion. I do also, I mentioned, you know, obviously various resources and things that I do, the tutorial. On Patreon, I do also do all zodiac sign readings. My zodiac sign readings aren't for calendar months. They are actually for moon months. I start with the new moon and do the entire moon month. That's just because I tend to work with the natural rhythms and cycles rather than our kind of construct of time. So do check those out. I also, by the way, give away a free private reading and a pack of Oracle cards every month, and I announced the winners of the draw yesterday. I uploaded a video on YouTube here. If you're on my subscriber email list, you may want to check that out to see if you're a winner. So Super Souls, I'll put links to anything and everything in the description box and the comments for phone users, and if you would like to be in my subscriber email list, in my subscriber draw, it is a subscriber offer. Add yourself to the email list. Once you're on it, you're in there forever. My colleague draws a name out of a hat every month. And do check out Patreon if you're interested in those moon monthly all zodiac sign readings. In the meantime, reading number 3, I think you're amazing because this feels like a soul growth reading, to be honest, a turning point. But what feels so amazing is it's a turning point of significant empowerment for your life from henceforth, and like an opportunity to make a great commitment to you and to that pathway ahead, irrespective of what has happened in your past. I'm sending you the biggest hug and the biggest love in the world, and I'm so sorry that stuff has happened that has caused you to feel emotionally tangled, honestly on occasions I think bewildered, gobsmacked at how people can behave. But the point is, this week Spirit is suggesting that the energy is perfect for you to honour where you've come from and create your own personal choices of empowerment, and to actually from henceforth live the life that you deserve. Reading number 3, I'm sending you all the love in the world. Tons of love.